I have gone viral probably 150 to 200 times on social media over the last few years because I have learned a method of creating content that makes people watch it, that makes people share it, and that makes people watch it over and over and over again. And in today's episode, I am going to talk to you about how to create content that becomes shareable and also viral so that you can hit whatever your goals are. Now, you may be saying to yourself that one of your goals is to grow an online community, whether that is on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. And you know that one of the ways to grow your community the fastest is if a piece of your content goes viral. We all know that that is a really big thing that helps people to be able to grow their accounts as fast as possible. And so today I've got 5 different tips where I'm going to teach you how to create content that is shareable, but that it also causes you to be able to go viral. Now, one of the first things you have to understand before I get into these points is that when you're trying to create content that goes viral, it can't be just about you, okay? It has to be what is the experience that people are having with your video. Are they super happy? Are they super sad? Are they mad? Are they, overwhelmed? What are the feelings that people are having with your content? Because one of the reasons why people share content is because they had some type of experience with that piece of content and they want somebody else to have that experience too. Okay, that's why that happens. So a lot of times we think, oh, it went viral because the platform pushed out the content. No, the platform pushes out the content because people are having an experience with the content and they are sharing, rewatching because of the emotional experience that they're having. So before we get into the 5 tips, I want you to ask yourself, with the content that you typically create, what type of experience do you want people to have? Now, people don't typically share content because it's educational, right? They share content because they felt something, okay? So even if you show up as an expert, you still have to ask yourself, when I share this, what do I want people to feel? Do I want them to feel like their mind is blown? Do I want them to feel like I just saved the world for them? They just feel relief or they feel angry? What is the feeling you want people to have with that content? Okay. Because again, they're going to share it with other people because they want them to have the same feeling and the same awareness or whatever that they have had. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into my 5 tips. So I wrote down my little 5 tips here that I'm going to share that works with me every single time I create content that goes viral and the content that makes my community and my clients go viral. And the 5th one is honestly the best one, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that you stay all the way to the end because the 5th one I feel like is the best one, but they all really build on top of each other. Okay, so number 1, the first thing you've got to do in order to create content that gets shared and that also goes viral is you've got to hook people within the first 3 seconds, okay? You have got to hook people, meaning you have got to get people to stop and actually watch the content. A lot of times what people are doing online is that people are creating things, they're just filming, right? They put their phone up and they just film and they don't actually say to themselves, hey, listen, how am I going to get this person that's holding a phone in their hand? How am I going to get them to stop scrolling? Okay, because remember, when people log onto social media, they have their own reason for being there. And their reason for being there is not to help you go viral. That's not their reason, right? It's a selfish reason that they have. You have your selfish reason of wanting to go viral, which is valid. And they have their own reason, which is to be entertained. So you have to say to yourself, okay, people are going to see this video. Like they're going to land on my content, right? And they're going to either stay there and keep watching or they're going to scroll away. What is going to happen within the first 3 seconds of your video that makes people stop? One of the things I like to teach my audience, my students, is that, there's a lot of different hooks that you can utilize to get people to stop. One of those things is visual hooks. Okay. What is happening visually as soon as they land on your video? I feel like visual hooks are the most powerful. Okay. Because 80% of people watch videos on mute. Okay. That means that when they log onto Instagram or TikTok or whatever, everything is muted until they click on unmute. So what is happening within the first 2 to 3 seconds in your video that makes them say, I'm going to stop and watch this and I'm going to click unmute? And I feel like the visuals are the most important thing. The second thing you can do could be a text hook. That's also a visual. What did they just read within a first 1 to 2 or 3 seconds that made them say, wait, what? And that made them stop and want to watch the video and also click unmute. Then once they actually click unmute, what are you saying? Okay. What are you saying? What are they hearing that makes them want to continue watching the video? Because here's the deal. You could have the greatest video on the planet, but if they don't get past that first 2 to 3 seconds, it doesn't matter because they scrolled away. They don't even know you got the greatest video because you didn't hook them within the first 2 to 3 seconds. So if you're trying to create content that gets shared by everybody and that goes viral, the first 3 seconds of your video is the most important part, not the rest. The rest is important, but the first 2 to 3 seconds is the most important because without that, people don't see the rest, okay? Without that, people don't see the rest, okay? So now let's get into number 2. The second thing is that, like I said earlier, is that you have to tap into people's emotions and give them some type of experience, okay? Because remember, when we've got that hook, right, it gave them something. And then the videos that go viral is because you're giving people these emotional experiences. So too, like I said in the intro, what emotional experience are you taking people on? You've got to take them on a journey. Think about the last set of videos you shared with a friend. Just think about it. Think about the links you have put in someone's text message, in someone's inbox. What happened? What did you see? Tell me, what did you see? So I've been sharing videos with my best friend of cats fighting to these like wrestling sounds, right? And it's really funny. It's really engaging. And I know it to be true because I have cats, and my friends, they don't really know it to be true. So that I'm bringing them into the experience of what is happening in my house, and they're reacting to it, right? I also saw a gentleman, he was sitting at his desk and he's typing on his desk and he's acting like he's responding to an email where he wants to be upset. And you see him say one line and he's responding, and then all of a sudden he stands up and he's screaming at the computer and he's cursing, right? And he's like, here's what I want to say to your email, but here's what I actually say. I've sent those messages to so many people because it's so relatable, because I so can see how people can identify with that particular character. Guess what? He took people on an emotional journey. And so now his content continues to go viral over and over and over again because of the experience. Okay. So you got to determine what is the experience people are going to have that's going to make them want to watch your content, share your content, that then causes you to go viral. Okay. Now let's go to number 3. Number 3 is make it easy to consume and understand. Okay. The reason why content goes viral is because when we're experiencing it, it's not hard. It's not difficult to try to understand what is being shared here or what is the experience we're having here. It is easy to understand, right? Because if something is complicated to us, we don't rewatch it over and over again. We don't go and share it with everybody. We just don't do that. But if the content is easy to understand, easy to consume, we will consume it once, we'll consume it twice, maybe 3 times. And then again, we will share with everybody. Now, again, I'm going to keep saying this whole thing that sharing is viral because that's the only reason, right? The only reason why a video or anything goes viral is because it gets shared. Okay. Like, have you ever seen a post and you saw like 1 million shares? Well, that video or whatever has millions and millions of views because somebody saw it, shared it, and then multiple people kept sharing. So you got to make sure that what is happening, that people actually want to actually share that, and it has to be easy to understand and easy to consume. Number 4, the 4th way to get people to share your content and to go viral is to include all clear call to actions that encourage interaction. Okay. Make sure that when you are creating this content, that if you want them to share it, make it clear. Okay. Now, sometimes people are laughing or upset or emotional and they're going to share it anyway. Right. But if your content isn't quite like that and what you want people to do is share, tell them. People do not mind that you just said, share this with a friend. People do it all the time. You know, we've always been used to someone telling us what to do. We're just used to that. Right. And so when someone then tells us what to do, if we don't mind doing it, guess what we do? we share it with a friend, right? And so I would encourage you in your content that if your goal is to go viral and get people to share it, ask people to share. And then number 5, you want to time your content strategically to make sure that it matches with current events. Okay. What does that mean? That means that if you are someone right now in the US and you want to make fun of comedians or artists or rappers, well, creating content around the BET Awards is a great one to do because the BET Awards just happened, right? If you want to make political content, you want to make fun around the president or political people, now is a great time because there's so much controversy that's happening in the media with the president and politicians that you can create some amazing content around that. If there is a new movie that just came out, if there is, let's just say Diddy and his trial or Karen Reed, all these different trials that are happening, Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, you literally can jump on some of those trends if they're current, right? But also, let's just say that you're an expert. You need to find news articles, things that are being shared in the news media that are talked about in the news media, because if those things are current events and you're highlighting a thing, you're going to get a lot of attention to your content. Every single time I announce a new TikTok feature or I announce what the president is saying about the TikTok not getting banned, that content goes so wildly spread because it's current news. I'm delivering it and it makes people want to tell other people about it. If there's a brand new feature and everybody needs to use it and everybody's like, whoa, that's an amazing feature, then guess what happens? People share and share and share it. Why? Because they want other people to see it. Their mind was blown. They were excited or enthusiastic about whatever. Now they've watched it. They had their experience and now they want other people to have that experience. Okay. So if you're someone and you're trying to create content and the goal is to get this content to go viral, you have got to be very strategic. You've got to be very intentional with the content that you're creating, because things don't go viral just because we want them to. They literally go viral because we make them do it. Okay. Now don't get me wrong. If a video is good enough, it's going viral without you, right? But most of us aren't creating viral moments on a regular basis intentionally, but you can, and if you be consistent at it. Okay. So if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.